Welcome back. Now, as you can tell by the title, it's quite the call, right? To call this game the game of the decade. But I'm not lying when I say that I haven't played anything like this game in 20 years. Easily. There is nothing that comes close. And I said it before, there will be other games that might be better at combat, might have better graphics probably. Maybe even better music, although that's gonna be quite the bar to cover. But what this game has, it combines everything in one, right? It has literally everything up to the minute detail. It is perfect. There was only one thing, sort of in the middle of Act 2, it was a little bit dragging along, but it was probably to my own demise, because I just didn't perceive the story, but everything else is just literally perfect. The world design is insanely, amazingly great. Like, I haven't seen anything like that before. Of course, you can only do it in this setting, which is a painting and not the real world. It's the same with the music, by the way, right? Because, that's funny. I play the music in my car, and my son is 5 years old, right? So beautiful. And even he, at 5 years, he doesn't even have an understanding of what music he likes, right? There is no such thing. He just listens to whatever is currently running. And he's told me in the car recently that the music I have in my car is so beautiful. And that is because something like that touches us on a soul level, right? Not on the physical earth level we live on. It's a soul level experience, this game. And that is because the devs, and this is also the reason why it's so successful, the devs actually have taken risks. Because in a big company you wouldn't have something like this, because they'll be saying, oh, not everyone likes classical music and we have to do something more modern. And if you look at Bungie, right, what they're doing with that, was it Marathon or whatever it was? If you just compare the art style, and that's why their game was delayed, because people absolutely hated it. I almost cussed there. And everyone absolutely loved this game, the music, and is crying a lot, is emotional, is smiling and laughing, grieving, etc. Like, it touches you. And that is what only classical music really can do. Now, of course, there are other songs that can give you goosebumps and whatnot, but this is due to the instruments, in my eyes. Like the cello, or the violins and this kind of stuff. They carry a certain frequency that only these instruments can really achieve. You see it in your movies, right? In good movies, I should say. Like Batman or something, right? The Dark Knight. Also has a bunch of very orchestral music. Hans Zimmer, right? Classic for his insanely good music. And it always uses these classical instruments. Now again, it doesn't work with every game. Right, you wouldn't have this music in a modern day Call of Duty. But then again, if you're playing a modern day Call of Duty, you have to question your mental sanity anyway. Because why would you waste your precious lifetime with that slop? That's the question, right? Your regular Call of Duty player probably won't love this game, but everyone else will. But if you try to make games for everyone, you will end up making games for no one. They will just be forgettable. Because it isn't an experience for that certain person. And it's the same with movies. When you try to be inclusive with everyone, you will end up excluding everyone out of your movies. You have to speak to a certain audience. And that is also totally fine. Some people will hate it, or like don't care about it, and everyone else will love it. And that's what you need to aim for. And that's what this game perfectly did. What they also did very greatly, 42, 41, 24. Interesting number combination. What they also did very greatly, or why I think this game is also so important, not just because it's game of the decade, but I think it's also important for humanity, funnily enough, right? You can't even see it here. Because this game is really bringing style back. You see, if you look at modern games, they try to have this modern style. Because I was playing, I mean, the game is like 6 years old or what. Need for Speed Heat, right, with my son. He's 5, so just some racing games. And everyone in that game the character you can choose from, 12 characters you can choose from, and every one of the main characters, they're all in sweatpants. And when I saw this, I immediately started to dislike the game. Because I always said, if you want to wear it at home, it's fine. I did this in the past, I don't do it anymore. In the past I did it. I get it, okay, that's fine. But if you go outside in your sweatpants, then you lost control of your life. Someone said this, some fashion designer or whatever. Because it's a question of dignity, right? That you at least put in a little bit of effort to, if you look at yourself. Welcome back, Dark Force, by the way. Modern games have gone woke, absolutely, and that's a big problem with it. And this game is the counterculture to it. But not on your nose, it's doing it subtly. It's not saying this is how everyone should look like, it's just showing you that if people dress nicely, that actually looks good. And you enjoy looking at that. Because it has a little bit of a vintage style, right? It's a little bit of... It's not the modern style of what they wear, right? With this kind of suit, right? And of course you don't have to wear this all the time when you go to the supermarket or whatnot. That's not what I'm saying, but... What this game is doing, subtly and indirectly, is bringing beauty back into our society. Making it acceptable. And that is just lovely. And again, it's doing this just by showing us how great that can look, not by telling you that this is how what you should wear and whatnot, or how games should look like. Like if you want to have a different art style, that's fine. But this is just a showcase of it's meta art, really, right? When it's showing you that this is art, the game itself, but it's also talking a lot about art in the game, right? So it's this kind of meta topic, which I like a lot. But I mean, some guys say they like when women walk around in like half naked on the street. I would much rather have women look like this, honestly. And men for the same matter, right? Like in the 50s or something. I would enjoy that. No, I'm not wearing this myself, right? I'm not wearing a suit by any means. But maybe I should do that. I don't know. Maybe I should be the leading cause, so to speak. But as I said, at home, I never wear sweatpants ever. I don't even have them. I threw them out years ago. I'm always in regular pants and at least a plain t-shirt. And I don't do this to impress anyone or for streaming. I do this for myself because I think, not sort of in a vain manner, being vain, but in a self-respecting manner, right? That even if I'm alone, I don't have to dress up for other people, but for myself. So I think higher of myself. Now for the game itself, now that we beat it. I mean, I've been talking about this the entire stream pretty much. 33 out of 10 game. It's the best game I played in 20 years, easily. Easily the best game. Definitely the game of the decade for me. There was nothing that came even close. There were some great games for sure. And the other ones that won Game of the Year or whatever, like last year for example, Stellar Blade was absolutely up there. But this beats out Stellar Blade easily. And I think the best thing for me really about this game was, in these 45 hours I played, is from the beginning to the end it really felt like an adventure. Like you really were on an adventure, an expedition if you want, right? Because of all these different areas we've seen, all the things that happened, we've been through with these characters. We came to love, right? So... And I haven't had a game like this in ages. Well, I know I'm gonna end the stream today, later, and then I'll be like very sad. But also happy, first, that I've been through this experience. But also sad that it's over now, and I've played through it. It's sort of this bittersweet thing, right? When you end a beautiful game, you're glad you did it, because it was amazing, but at the same time you're sad that it's over. I mean, I might play a little bit off stream, just some bosses or whatnot, but I'm definitely not gonna play the whole game again. Because I don't want to. Because I think I did the same with Stellar Blade. I actually did 100% with Stellar Blade. I beat everything, got all the achievements, literally everything. And then at that point I decided to stop playing it. I could have kept going, but I was like, you should stop when you're at the peak, right? Because the longer you drag it out, the worse it gets. So as much as I loved it at that point, I dropped it. I'm gonna do the same with this game after today, probably. Just so I keep it in my mind as in the perfect way that it is. But yeah, where do you even start, man? This game just had everything. The combat was amazing, actually, even for turn-based. They had some very cool things, especially with Monoko. And that he can just copy the enemies, pretty much. That was such a cool feature. I actually loved the whole stance fighting of Mel. I like this a lot. I enjoyed Lune, pretty cool caster, even though she dropped towards the end a little bit. Sierra was also a very cool mechanic, but not my style, really. And I should have played more Verso. He's actually also pretty good, but I don't know, just didn't get to it. But yeah, gameplay was amazing. It was a lot of fun. The game is massive. There's so much content for that little price point. It's actually insane. Actually insane. Which is crazy to me. I mean, the music. I still listen to it all the time. All the time. Some people have called this game Depression Simulator, right? Which is correct to an extent, I would say. Because it really hits you right in the feels. But that is also what you want, right? You don't want to have a game that just sort of trickles along. You want to have the pain and the joy. Because that is what life is, right? Life is exactly the same. You have pain, you have grief, you have anger. But you also have a lot of joy. And beauty. And love. So, very cool areas of storytelling. Absolutely, the storytelling, I mean, the story itself is absolutely amazing. As I said, I was not expecting this ending at all. At all. Like, not at all. That you actually can choose between these two, funnily enough, that they're both standing there. Between Mael and Verso. It was obvious we would fight Renault, which is a very cool boss fight. But he was actually a bit weak. To be honest, I beat him like the second try, right? I did the Paintress the first try, which also surprised me. Maybe my build is just good, I don't know, you guys help me with that. But Monoko carried a lot of this though, because he just didn't die. He was a super tank. He just did not die, even with my shitty ass parrying. He was a legend. But yeah, visuals, I mean visuals. I mean... Even the overworld, right, the continent you get to fly over like this. I mean, just look at how beautiful that is. This huge world, that is, Papa Vaten, where you can just fly over. And then go literally everywhere and fight some dudes. It's just crazy. With your flying chicken. Also these little details like the Papa Vaten and whatnot. Like there's a lot of little details and hints I liked a lot about the game. I should probably think about things I didn't like, and that's actually tough. But yeah, even this, like the first time I saw this map I was like, dude, this game is massive. But it comes down to the regular 40 to 60 hours like every good ARPG, like RPG.
Hang on tight.
Hang on tight. The characters themselves, right? Like SK, which we need a plushie from. Noko, Monoko,
Here we go.
our party. They're all just amazing. All just absolutely amazing.
Here we go.
But what I mentioned this with Stellar Blade as well, and this game has the same, which I think you can really summarize it too. Why the game is so successful also. First of all, any game going forward after Stellar Blade and this one, if they don't have good music in the background, it's an immediate miss. Immediate miss. Right? Because the bar is so high now, it's kind of crazy. But I said it with Stellar Blade as well as with this game. It's just a nice place to be in. You can just chill here, listen to the music, run around a little, kill some fancy Nephrons, whatever, build your build, whatever it is, and just enjoy the beauty of the game and the music of it. Like in Stellar Blade it was the same. I was sometimes just sitting in the oasis, right, fishing, because you could fish it there. I guess one bad thing is that you can't fish in this game. That's missing. Because every good game has that, right? A fishing minigame. So maybe that's the one bad point I have. But yeah, in Stellar Blade it was the same. It was sitting at the oasis, fishing, listening to the music in the background, just chilling. Because the great thing about this is, in that moment, especially as a guy, you don't care about the mortgage, you don't care about the work, or your wife nagging at you because it brought the wrong milk, whatever it is, issues with your children. In that moment, you can just be one with your soul. And that is what games should be. Which needs the next thing, which is there is no activism being put on you, right? It's just these people, they look like that, it's the 1900s, that's fine. Which I think is great because it brings beauty back, actually, this game. In all senses, like the audio sense, but also the visual sense. But there's nothing being forced down your throat how things should be. It's just a game, they look like this, they're telling a story, it's fine. Right? There is no activism, no wokeism, all that bullshit. It's just a game for you to enjoy. Right? And I guess they even gave some fan service with the swimsuits, which I didn't go for at all because I thought this doesn't really fit this game. It fit in Stellar Blade, like I have all the kinky outfits, even some mods, but not in this game. This was really focused on beauty and grief, but I think mostly about the beauty of emotion. It can be very detrimental, but it can also be very beautiful. But yeah, that's pretty much what this comes down to. And this is what makes this game so much, I think. All these things combined. It's not just one thing. If you have one thing, that's not enough. You need all of them combined to have a perfect game like this one.
Hang on tight.
You know?